This image shows Jawaharlal Nehru along with Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Lord Mountbatten. This image has a lot of historical significance in the context of India-Pakistan relations. India and Pakistan share one of the worst rivalries of the world. The reason of this rivalry has a long history, and the roots of this history can be traced back to a British strategy at the time when India and Pakistan were still a single nation. Divide and rule. There were three dominant religious groups in this nation at that time: Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs. The British tried to establish their control over this nation through a policy of divide and rule. The strategy was simple: to create a religious division among Indians so that Indians would be busy fighting against each other instead of fighting the British rule. After decades of British rule, Indians, however, found a reason to unite for a common cause: freedom from the British rule. What followed were a series of movements for independence. The British responded with violence and used this opportunity to create even more political rift between Hindus and Muslims, and they passed the Government of India Act of 1935. This act gave Indian provinces a new political structure. The act set up local governments with reserved seats for representatives from religious groups including Hindus, who got general seats along with Sikhs and Muslims. The act created even more division among Muslims and Hindus by assigning seats in the name of religion. It was all part of the British strategy. In the resulting elections, the Hindu majority party, the Indian National Congress, was led by Jawaharlal Nehru. Another party, the All India Muslim League, was led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Nehru and Congress won 707 legislative seats in the election, and Muslim League won only 106. The majority of Muslims voted for other smaller parties instead of aligning with the national political identity. After the outcome of the elections, violence started breaking out in different parts of the country against Muslims. Jinnah expressed his concern to the Muslim League in his speech. He said, "We have learnt many lessons. We are now therefore very apprehensive and cannot trust anybody." Jinnah, who was a strong atheist and a strong advocate for Hindu-Muslim unity, shifted his focus to creating an independent nation for Muslims, Pakistan. He warned that united India meant slavery for Muslims. He asked for Muslims to unite and fight for an independent nation. But a rally in Calcutta, which was home to both Muslims and Hindus, turned violent, and thousands of people died in what is known as 1946 Calcutta killings. In this atmosphere of civil unrest, Britain announced their withdrawal from India, and it was the duty of Lord Mountbatten to negotiate a deal between Nehru and Jinnah to organize Britain's exit from India. It was at this moment that these men agreed to partition of India along religious lines. Jinnah would get Pakistan, and Nehru, who feared more religious violence inside India, agreed to the two-nation theory. A British lawyer named Cyril Radcliffe, who has never been to India, was given less than 40 days to draw up the new borders based on outdated maps and census data. Radcliffe kept the region with Muslim League's political base in India instead of including it within Pakistan. And the major economic centers like Delhi and Calcutta were included inside India, leaving Pakistan at an economic disadvantage. To make matters worse, British moved their date of exit up by 10 months. They said it was important to get the two countries launched as early as possible in order to avoid further difficulties. But the real reason behind this was that Britain was thrashed in the Second World War and it no longer had the resources to continue its control over India. So Britain rushed out of India and finally gave India independence, which meant that this moment, one which was supposed to ease the tension between Hindus and Muslims, was actually a careless and hasty handover of power. It marked the origin of India and Pakistan. The partition led to violent riots and mass migration along the newly created borders. Fearing religious persecution, many Muslims fled to Pakistan, while Hindus and Sikhs moved across the border to India. But many never made it to their destinations. About 1 million people died and 14 million people were displaced from their homes. Most of the bloodshed happened in Punjab and Bengal, where the newly created borders cut through provinces that were home to Muslims, Hindus and Sikhs. And another province, Kashmir, which fell on the border, became the center of a new conflict. A dispute over ownership that would define the rivalry between both nations for decades to come. The rivalry between India and Pakistan has persisted over 70 years. But it is important to remember where it all began. a British strategy which was designed to create a religious division among the people of a single nation. And the British succeeded.